You may have just watched me performing horizontal graduation on a lob shape, and I hope you have, because I spoke of why there's some differences between executing horizontal graduation on lob and then long. And the one thing is by using horizontal projection, you can create shape around all lengths of hair, but we need to then use over direction when we're using long hair, because one of the limitations of using horizontal graduation to shape hair around the front is that on long hair we can end up cutting all the hair away from around the face and the neck and on the body, which can obviously make your client upset, especially if they want to keep the hair long. So I'm going to show you how, by using diagonal forward and diagonal back sections, we can actually utilize horizontal graduation and make sure that we can apply it correctly to the right length of hair. In the previous video, I used a middle parting to execute the horizontal graduation. This time, I'm actually going to use a side part, because it is something that you can then apply to different lengths of hair, but it's something that our clients often ask, like, can I move my part anywhere? I usually just wear it on the sides. This is something to consider. If I had a client who wanted flexibility in the way they wore their hair, I would always use a symmetrical parting, but in this example, I'm going to actually do a parting on the side. Just remember, when you're using a side part, that there are going to be some challenges you face when executing this technique. The first is you're going to have more hair on this side than the other. So what that means is when we're executing this, we're going to have to over direct the hair more to ensure that we have the identical shape on both sides. So I found where my parting is going to be, and I've chosen to go to the corner of the eyebrow on her left-hand side, just combing this hair into my hand. So just by using my hand, I'm visualizing where I want this to come. So I think I'm going to start around what would be the sort of beginning of her neck, and we're going to aim to blend it with the length, starting with a rectangle section, similarly to when we did this on a lob. Instead of doing horizontal, we're going to find where we want our length to be. And when we project the hair below 90 degrees, so it's graduation, we're actually going to use our comb to over direct the hair to retain the length. Then we're going to cut back up towards our fingers to start our guideline. And again, you notice how I didn't drop the hair. I always hold on to it. I just find that it makes it so much easier to ensure you're projecting the hair to the right point. Again, visualizing where I want this to meet the side. A long comb makes it really easy. You can see here's my short point, that's where the length is, and now we're going to match it up to there. Before you drop it, just make sure that it's combed nice and even, and we'll just check it again. This is the most critical section because this is the guideline for the entire shape. So I want to make sure that we get this perfect. And you can see just by doing that, this little piece is poked out. Then we're going to let it go. And you can see how now by over directing the hair, it's safe to use this on long hair. We've preserved all our length. We've got the shape here. When executing the shallow side, so the shallow side being the side of the parting that has the least amount of hair, we're actually going to have to over direct the hair even more. So effectively we're cutting this side longer than the other side to ensure that it looks balanced, because we have a much narrower plane of hair to execute this shape compared to this side. We had quite a wide plane of hair. And one of the tips that's very good when doing this is you need to get out of your own way. So by me standing here, I'm sort of like in my own way. Whereas when I take a step to the side, I can actually open my shoulders right up. And again, I can see where my guideline is, where my length is, and I can join that to there. Again, I'm projecting the hair in a graduation space. Graduation is going to ensure that the hair has more weight in it than what it would if we were layering it. And you can see, we comb that down, that it's going to shape it really nicely around the face. Our guideline's completed. So now all we need to do is bring all the hair from the back into the front, and we cut it into that guideline. So ensuring that we actually do the exact same projection as our guideline is very important. Otherwise we'll have inconsistencies when we dry this. So finding your guideline. Now our guideline's complete. It's a matter of working diagonally back, bringing everything forward until we run out of hair into that guideline. Don't go looking for hair, but make sure you bring all the hair from the back into the front and cut anything that sits over your guideline. Depending on what's been done on your client's hair before, sometimes there'll be a lot of hair to cut. As you can see by the amount of hair that is coming into the guideline that I've created, there's actually not that much to cut at all. We're bringing all the hair from the back into our guideline at the front, making sure we're projecting it just below 90 degrees. And as I said, not much to cut there. Don't go looking for hair to cut. If it doesn't reach your guideline, then that's okay. Now we'll repeat the same on this side. If your hands aren't as big as mine, you absolutely can section it so that you can control the hair. Don't cut this, that's for the other side. The reason why I like to bring the point from the other side across is so I know where the end of my guide is on this side of the head. And that's that. You can see this beautiful shape that's starting to form in the front. We finished drying our long graduated shape, and you can see that you get this beautiful, soft shaping around the front. I know this is sometimes confused with actually layering the hair, but remember, because we actually projected the hair in the graduation space, that actually makes it graduation, and the difference is you keep more weight and it's more voluptuous on the ends. What we might do now is a little quick spin on the styling, just so you can see how this could be used for different type of people, and styling can actually make it look really modern and versatile and actually make it street or formal. After using a flat iron just for a little bit of movement, finishing with a shine flash, you can see that all of a sudden it really actually shows off the shape more than just if you blow dried it. Don't forget, it's important to remember when using graduation, horizontal graduation on long and lob hair, that over directing on long hair allows you to retain that length on the ends. If you want to see how you can enhance your shape even more by adding layering, there's another video where we're going to build on this shape, add layering and transform it into a softer, more flowing shape with a lot more movement.